Look, this is for all the trash. Just throw all the trash in here.
What's that?
Right here, we're at a job site. This is my daughter, Clarissa. She wanted to tag along today, but we're doing a lift and relay right here. We're just changing the paper, and then they did have a lot of termite damage. So we're replacing a bunch of the plywood. You can see they have a couple sheets here. They already papered in the whole backside. We started this job like 2 days ago. So this is day 3. We usually stage all the metals on the ground the first couple of days. That way they have more space to move the tile around. All the new metals we're gonna be using, the bird stop, which goes on the edge, all the valley metals for all the pipe. And then funny enough, we just did that roof, that one with the next to the palm trees with the like black. It's a charcoal roof. We just installed that one last month, so it's pretty cool to do several jobs in the same neighborhood. We're basically in the stage where we're inspecting the wood. If you can see here, we got all the tile already stacked up here. We took out the paper, and this is obvious signs of termites, right? You can see that little powder, and then those holes. They've basically been chewing all that up, eating it up. Another thing we noticed, before the roof was even off, it's maybe kind of hard to tell on the camera, but it's kind of wavy. It's kind of wavy because like right here, this is going to be a high spot. There's going to be another high spot where the trusses go down, right? Is there going to be a 2x6 or 2x4 truss? That's why you see a little bit of waviness. So hopefully when we change out this plywood, it's going to make it look, nice and flat for a lot of years to come. It also had a little bit of moisture. You can kind of see, where the tiles were sitting. All these marks here, basically where the tile was sitting. So over the years, it starts rubbing on the paper, and that's where, right, the leaks start to develop, or the moisture. We got a little tent set up for the guys right here to make sure they're gonna enjoy their breaks, chill in the shade. And we got our dump truck set up. This job we're hoping to finish up by Friday, and we started it Monday. So usually a home like this we can knock out in like 5 days. Since there is quite a bit of wood repairs, that may add another day. So if necessary, and if the guys want to, they can work Saturday and get it done. That way we don't affect next week's schedule. This job is going pretty smooth right now. Right now we're in Bonita. Technically, this part of Bonita, it falls under Chula Vista. When I barely started, like one of the first lift and relays I did, I thought you didn't have to get a permit, right? So I'm sitting here telling the homeowner, yeah, you know what? Like we don't got to worry about it because different sections of Bonita have different rules. Like I said, this specific section, it's got to go through Chula Vista. I'm over here, bro, thinking I'm all good. And then next thing I know, I get a call from the guys like, hey, we just got shut down by the city because they're saying we don't have a permit. And I was under the impression we didn't need a permit, So I was like, hey, let me talk to him. I'm sitting there trying to tell the city inspector. I mean, I'm a rookie at this point, right? I didn't really know what I was doing. So I am telling him, hey, you know what? We're just doing lift and relay. I was told it's not necessary. So he pretty much was cool. He was actually pretty cool about it. He schooled me on, like different parts of Bonita may have different rules, different jurisdictions. So I kind of felt like a rookie, right, in front of my guys. But I also learned, and luckily he was cool about it. He just made us basically shut down the job for the day, and then we were able to get the permit the next day and finish that job for the homeowner. So I learned from there to always, even if we're not sure, we might as well ask, right? Because it doesn't hurt to ask, and usually inspectors are going to be pretty chill and not kind of just shut you down and make you pull a permit. But I've also heard stories of guys getting fined. Another one is if you're doing less than 50% of the roof, if it's an emergency repair, then they'll let it slide, because at the end of the day, it's not an emergency of like anybody at risk, but I mean it's an emergency of water getting in and damaging their house, right? So all different cities have their own rules. You just got to make sure you're checking in yearly, because they also will change them. So luckily, we always keep up with all the cities, and we do all the permitting ourselves. It makes the process a lot faster, and we don't got to pay anybody, and then charge the homeowner. We basically do it all in house. Have you seen those, Zach? Have you seen the ones where they?
The TikToks?
Yeah, they're like, no.
Oh yeah, my boss.
Patrón me dijo, si voy a puñar. All right, yeah, so on this job, we're gonna be actually recycling the tile or repurposing it, because usually the concrete tile is gonna last like about 50 years, 50, 60 years, depending on the maintenance. Concrete tile especially, I mean, it's pretty durable. A lot of times when it's older, if it's not too old, it's a lot of the time stronger than even new tile, because new tile, as an example, we just installed that roof across the street. It's barely been produced usually, like recently, so it's still fresh, if that makes sense. Whenever we install new tile, we've got to be really careful to not break any tiles when, you know, we have the last guys off of the roof. Right here, we're going to be able to recycle a bunch of the tile. As you can see, we have our dump truck there. So we use this dump truck right now. We're just, you know, throwing trash, the old paper in there. But as an example, if we were to be installing new tile here, then we would palletize a bunch of this old tile, because it's going to be a discontinued tile. These homes are built probably like in the 1980s. So this tile you see here, it's basically an antique. Like, you can't get it anymore. They don't make it. That's why we save it, because we already know we're going to end up doing more roofs in the neighborhood. So with us saving it, we're going to have the compatible tile, right? To not try to mix and match different tiles. And then so the purpose of the truck is to be able to haul pallets of tile. And the funny story on this truck, it used to be a City of Long Beach truck. I bought it off some guy in LA that he pretty much, that's all he does is buy trucks from the city, from LA, and that's the story on that truck. That's how we got it. Yeah, so it's been well maintained, and then obviously all of our vehicles, we try to, you know, put wraps on them just so we look legit, you know, and the homeowner is proud of, you know, having nice looking trucks on the block. This job is going pretty smooth. Like, I just got done with lunch. This whole neighborhood eventually is going to need roofs. You can kind of tell they have algae buildup, and we've done several roofs on the block already. They're actually doing another one down the street, some other roofers, but I got my assistant here today, Carissa Casas. Yeah, she's making sure all the guys are, you know, not slacking off and that they're working safe. Right, Carissa?
Yeah.
All right. Well, who's the real boss?
My mom.
Yeah, so she says that, you know, my wife is a boss, which is probably true, but I just like to act like I'm the boss when I'm out here at the job sites.